Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. And thank you very much for joining me today. Really, really busy day here in the UK. Just to tell everybody on radio at the moment, if you are listening on radio, 107.FM, and that's in the southwest. And if you're around the world, it's on medium wave, 305 medium wave. You can catch us on there. My name's called Steve Beer, and I'm going to be with you for the rest of the day. Oh, yay. I'll tell you what I have got. What I usually do is I usually go around kind of like talent scouting sometimes from different people. And I usually kind of like go on to like different Facebook sites and listen to people. And actually, I was talking to Sarah earlier, and I've got Sarah with me now. Hello. I can't hear you. Put your headphones on. Hello. And your sound. Hello. Can't hear you. Have you got your sound up? Right. Okay. In the meantime, guys, just want to tell you that if you are um, kind of wanted to come on, we've got a few vacancies left for November, and that's it. We're also looking for people at the moment to come on and do Christmas spots for us, like play live music on there. Let's see if Michelle's back now. Hello. Volume. Headphones. Headphones. Have you got the sound up? Have you got your headphones plugged in? Okay, guys. So there you go. And yeah. So if you want to be on, we got still got spaces left for the time being. Anyway, okay. I think she's been having some problems, can't get her sound back. So there you go. Um, so anyway, let's play something in the meantime. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Amen. Praise the Lord. Okay. So, so we got Sarah back on. I tell you what, the trouble is with sound and with StreamYard, with anything, you got to get the sound done. So, actually, I'm glad you're on. Sarah, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, what do you want to know? Do you want to know about me in general, or do you just want to know about the anxiety that I've been through? What is it you want me to talk about to begin with?
Well, you are a singer, Yeah.
I am. I'm a
Right.
professional singer. I have been a singer for since I was 18, but obviously there was a period of my life where I had to put it on hold for a while. But I've been back singing for God the last 20 years. So yeah, in front of
Right.
lots of
Okay.
crowds.
So what I want you to do now, it's your time to tell everybody what you've been through. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Okay, so but
all yours.
did you want to? Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Sarah. It's pretty difficult for me to come on and talk about this today because it's something that I've not been able to do basically all my life, well, since I was 18 years old. And most people, when they look at me, think I'm this very vibrant, bubbly type of person who has endless confidence, which I do now have. But going back to when I was 18, um, all I can remember is misery, and it's been a struggle, and I've got there. But what it is that I'm going to talk about today is about panic and anxiety and how it affects one's life and how people can live in silence with it and suffer such terrible pain mentally from it and not cope with it. And being bubbly like myself and really outgoing and confident, people get the wrong impression, but there is underlying problems there. And what it was is it all started out with three traumatic events that I had in my life, starting when I was 18. And they were very serious problems. And all three of them just impacted me very hard. And I didn't know at the time, but I just started getting all these different types of symptoms. And obviously, the symptoms were very real to me. They mimicked a lot of serious health conditions, and I'll just name a few of these symptoms off. Some of the symptoms that I occurred were very serious palpitations. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was strangled all the time. I had constant shakes. I had dizziness 24 hours a day. It never went away. These symptoms were going on all day long. They didn't go away. And what else? I had dryness of the mouth. I had tingling sensations in all my body. I had chest pains that mimicked heart attack. I had serious throbbing of the head, serious shooting pains that would just strike me at any moment, and I didn't know where they were coming from. So all these symptoms developed over time, and I started thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Didn't think about the traumatic events that I had occurred because I was quite young, I was 18. And I thought, my God, I need to have this checked out. I think I'm dying of some disease or something. So I started going to the doctors literally every single day. I mean, literally, there was a point for 2 weeks, I was literally in the doctors every day. I was saying, you need to check me for this. You need to check me for this. I'm dying. You're not listening to me. Someone's not understanding. And I was getting overwhelmed by it all. And at the same time, I was feeling so anxious with all these symptoms that I was having. I then became traumatized by it and thought I just can't go out anymore. I don't want to go outside because it would start. What I'm next going to tell you about is panic attacks, and the panic attacks started hitting me out of the blue. I would be sitting watching TV, and then suddenly I don't. Everyone explains a panic attack in a different way, but it was like my head was going to explode and I was going to drop dead. It was just such a horrible feeling. And I would just be sitting watching TV and I'd think, where did that come from? There's something wrong with me. So I was never really believing any of this stuff was anxiety and panic. I just didn't know what it was. I just thought I was dying. And it just over time, it just got worse and worse and worse. And like I said, I ended up staying indoors for at least 3 years. I didn't go out. I was babysitted by my mum. And it gets a bit emotional. I literally got so weak that my mum had to get me out of bed in the mornings and she had to lift me. I was so weak. I was sitting in baths for 3 hours a day. Um, and it was just took over my life. And I never, ever thought that I would ever get better. I thought I was dying, literally. And then one day I decided to phone a mental illness hospital, and I spoke to someone on the phone, panicked, saying, please help me. There's something seriously wrong with me. Please, can you section me? I actually used the word section. I need someone to help me. And the woman says, just hold on a second, I'll get you a nurse. And a nurse came on the phone, and she said to me, we can't just have you here. You can't just come into the hospital. You need to go back to your GP. And I said, but you don't understand, they're not listening to me. There's something wrong with me and no one's helping me. And she said to me, listen to me. It sounds to me that you're going through anxiety and panic. She says, and you need to go back and speak to a doctor and tell them this. She says, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I promise you that you'll get there. I'll never forget that conversation with that woman. Never. So I listened to her and I went to the doctors, and they said to me when I got to the doctors, you need to be on medication. You won't get better without it. And that straight away just sent me into severe panic. I was thinking, oh my God, I hate medicine. I don't want to take medicine. Is this the only way I'm going to get through it? Anyways, it kind of didn't settle with me. I took the medicine, and then one day I was so panicked one day. My mum had gone to the shop. She left me on my own, and I phoned an ambulance, and I sent myself to the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack, because I still didn't believe I didn't believe anyone. I didn't want to believe people. This is the problem. I didn't believe that I was going through anxiety. I just believed that someone hadn't found out what I was dying of. Anyway, so off I went to the hospital. They hooked me up to a heart monitor. They monitored my heart for 8 hours that day. I'll never forget it. And they said to me at the end, at one point, my heart rate was 135 resting rate. And that's quite fast for resting. And the doctor came over to me. He says, you're not dying of anything. He was trying to explain to me. But we are going to send you over to a psychiatrist who's going to help you with this chronic acute anxiety that you're dealing with. I still didn't want to believe it, but kind of I did in a little way, started to believe after these years. I thought, well, hold on a second. I've done all these tests. I'm still standing here telling the story. I need to start believing something about this. So I did. I went on to a psychiatrist. My mum took me there. It was the most dreadful day of my life because I had to leave the house. And I can remember Mum saying, you can do it on your own. I walked into the office with the psychiatrist, and I stood there and I was like holding myself like this. And she says, tell me about what you're feeling. And I said, I told her everything. I just feel so overwhelmed with anxiety. And I says, I don't want to live anymore. I just feel I can't deal with this. This is just horrendous. And I told her all my symptoms, and she said, listen to me, what is your main fear at the moment? And I said, well, the doctors have told me that I have to take this medicine and I won't ever get better. And she says, that's not true. I said, what do you mean? She says, you never, ever do anything that you don't want to do. Of course you can get over it with that medicine. You just need someone to talk you through it. And that's what I needed. I'm not saying that some people shouldn't have medicine if they want to have it and it helps them, then that's great. But me, I was scared of taking that medicine. I didn't want to take it. I was scared. I'm even scared to take a paracetamol at that time. So for me to hear that advice from the psychiatrist, I was like, so much weight was lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to walk out of that office and go and tell my mum, I don't need to be on this medicine. And that was the day when I started to repair. And what I started to do is I had 18 weeks of intense therapy. I had 8 weeks of someone coming into my home. They would come in and talk to me about all the feelings that I was feeling, and they were talking me through it. And they eventually got me out of the house, and I went into 8 weeks of a group therapy. And I learned all about the flight or fight mode. And that's what we call the fight or fight mode. It's that vicious circle that your mind ticks over. So basically, when you're anxious, and when I was anxious, what I was thinking, oh my God, I'm here in this position again. It's going to happen again. I'm going to panic. Oh my God, I'm here again. I'm going to panic. Oh my God. So that's why if I was going to go to a shop, oh my God, I'm in this shop and I don't like it, I'm going to panic. And then I'd panic. Oh my God, I'm on a train. I can't be on a train. I'm going to panic. So there's that vicious circle. So I needed to break that cycle, and they trained me to break it. It took years. I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long while to train your mind, especially if you're in a habit of thinking, you're overthinking everything. You're thinking, but what if, but what if, but what if, but what if? I always had an answer for everything. Everything I had an answer for. I overanalyzed everything. There was danger in everything. So my world, it took a lot for me to break this cycle. But over time, I started to believe them. I started to see symptoms gradually come out of my body. I mean, I had about 30 different symptoms at one point, and they gradually started lifting. And I saw things change. I was thinking, maybe I should believe this. Maybe this is anxiety and panic. Maybe, it's something that I'm going to have to cope with for the rest of my life. But how do I do it? So anyways, after I started lifting that, I started getting brave. I got into a voluntary job. I couldn't do a paid job because it was too much pressure. So I went to the YMCA. I'll never forget. I went in and I said, I want to volunteer. And I volunteered as a drama instructor because I knew that it was something that I loved. I knew I could get up a lot of pent-up emotions out, and I could bring happiness to people as well. So I then did that for a while, and I started feeling better. It was a long time. It took years. It didn't take days. It took years. But in those years, it gradually got better. So I was feeling better all the time, but I was coping with it, if that makes sense. So, and then I was then moved on. And then when I got back into my singing, I had my first gig, and I was so excited. I basically felt a lot better. And I got on a train. Now, this is where I first had my panic attack, was on a train. Trains were very serious to me. I didn't like getting on trains because they set off my panics. So I got on this train. I was feeling really good. And there's this woman opposite me. And she looked at me and she was all panicky and anxious. It was like I was looking at a mirror image of myself. And she was acting all weird. And she's not weird, but, she was acting like scared and stuff like that, like I used to be. That's what we feel. We feel that we're weird when we act like this, because we feel like, because we're so weird, like acting strange, we were looked at as weird. And I felt weird all the time. I thought, oh, everyone thinks I'm a freak. Everyone thinks I'm this cuckoo head, But really, I was just suffering from a mental illness that I needed to cope with. So anyways, going back to this lady, I said, I looked over, I said, are you okay? And I said, do you need my help? She goes, oh my God. She goes, I really need to use your phone. I said, what's wrong? I said, tell me what's wrong. And she says, I'm very anxious and someone's meeting me it was a mirror image of me. I said, don't worry, calm down. I'm going to help you. So I helped her, gave her the phone. She phoned a friend, got off the train, and she was like going, she didn't look very good, but she went off. 2 minutes later, she'd followed me. And she came over to me and she was in a full-blown panic attack. And I grabbed her and I said, what's wrong? I said, and she said, I haven't got my ticket and I need to get on this train because my friend's going to be there. I said, listen, don't worry about your friend, okay? We're going to get there. I grabbed her hand and I took her up to the station and I got her to get her ticket. And as she came down the stairs, it was literally me. I was looking at myself. And I said to her, hold my hand. I said, and I want you to take a breath through your nose, breathe, and breathe out through your mouth. I said, and I want you to relax. I said, I've been through this. I know exactly what you're going through. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to be absolutely fine. We're going to get you through this. And she, as I was talking to her, I was saying, breathe. I was talking to her slowly, and she came out of it. And she said, oh my God, never anyone has ever helped me like that. I said, don't worry. It's because I understand. I got on the train with her and I chatted to her, and then off she went. And I told her, but so the moral of the story is, what I'm trying to explain to you right here is that I went through this cycle. I eventually got back to my job. I saw myself and realized that, oh my God, I'm coping with this. I'm dealing with this, and I'm on the journey to getting better. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't have anxiety, because that would be a lie. I will suffer anxiety for the rest of my life. But the difference between now and then is the fact that the anxiety that I suffer now is I look at it in a totally different way. I don't look at it, oh my God, it's going to kill me. I look at, oh, Sarah, this is you just being anxious and you need to cope with this. I talked to myself. I said, now listen to me. You're absolutely fine. This panic's not going to hurt you. These overwhelming thoughts, you need to get around them. You need to be able to cope with this moment at the moment. So what I'm trying to say is that for every negative thought that you have, you can replace it with a positive. There's always a positive to connect to that negative. So, for example, oh my God, I'm not going out today. Yes, you can go out. Nothing's going to happen to you. Oh my God, I'm going to panic. No, you're not. And if you do panic, you're going to cope easily with it. It's just a feeling. Because most people think these feelings are so overwhelming that they get embarrassed by them. We live in silence, and it's just, you need to be able to own up to it. You need to be in control. You don't let anxiety control you, because it will, because it's powerful. You need to learn how to control anxiety. So when you do have this anxious moment, you need to stand up to this silly panic and anxiety, and you say, hey, back off. You're not going to destroy me today. I'm going to destroy you. And I'm going to tell you how it is. This is how it is. We're going to work through this. Yeah. And I still do it to this day, but I'm so confident now, and I'm so in control of it. It is just so powerful. And I want people to realize that anxiety doesn't always have to be looked at as something negative. It's a very, very major tool to have in your life. I mean, it can get you out of danger. It can support your whole life. It can support your family. You can look after people. You're the one who's the strong one. You can say, hold on a second, no, you need to do that. You may be a warrior, but I mean, that anxiety is there for a reason. It's just that don't let it get out of control. But always remember what I said. That woman said to me, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone 100 million% can get there. You just have to work at it. You have to face your fears. Little steps. Don't jump into big steps. You can take little steps, but you need to face your fear. You can't go on and let that fear overcome. You need to overcome those fears. You need to move on from them. And even say, for instance, COVID comes along. We've all been suffering from COVID. Not a lot of people wants to have the vaccine. I didn't want to have it. I was scared. I don't like taking paracetamols. But I said to myself, hell with it. If I'm going to drop dead, I'm going to drop dead. I'm not going to worry about it, because that's what takes over me. That's what the fear of death always took over me, and I'm not going to let it take over me anymore. So they put the injection in my arm, and I had it. It was scary. I had it, but I did it, and I'm brave, and I feel good that I had it. But I'm not going to say I'm not scared of it, because I am. I'm still scared of it, because I still question, what has that done to me? But then I say, hold on a sec, Sarah. There's millions of people having this. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. You can't control your future. Today is today. We live for the today. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow we don't know about. Live for now. You need to live for now, and try to make that as comfortable as you can. And there is tips for getting through this. There is tips. Number one tip that I would say to someone is, find something that you enjoy doing, that you love to do. Mine was obviously singing, and I love playing guitar. So I really paid attention to doing that a lot. I did a lot of singing and a lot of guitar playing. Number two, going out for a lovely walk. When you're feeling anxious, I know at first I didn't go out, but my mum would sometimes, she'd force me to go out. Come on, Sarah, let's go. And she had to build me up, and I would go out in the end. But that just really helped me. There's so many things that you can do. I mean, find a stranger to talk to. That was one of the things that I used to talk. I used to go to strangers. I used to talk about all my anxieties to them, because I didn't have to feel guilty about them walking away and feeling like thinking bad things about me or anything. I could just tell them, and they'd be gone. They didn't know me. So I wasn't really worried about what they thought about me, whereas my family, I was worried about how they were going to react, so find a stranger to talk to. They're always great. A bit of retail therapy, going out shopping, and buying yourself a little treat, making yourself feel good about yourself. These are different stages. It depends on what stage you are. I mean, in the beginning, I couldn't have done that, but as time went on, that's what I started to do, and that's what I do now. So when people see me singing online, and they see, oh my God, she's so confident, she's so this. There's a background to people, and there's people out there really suffering terribly. And I just want to tell everyone, if anyone has suffered like me, please don't give up, because I swear to you 100% there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you will bloody will get there. I promise you, with all my heart. If you want to, you will. You just need to. Your brain's very powerful. It can get there. It can get there. I don't know much more I can say to you.
Sarah, well done. Well done.
I just want you to live for today.
Yeah, well done. That was really good. That was very everybody's kind of like leaving me questions here. There's a couple of questions what people is asking me is how does Sarah cope with her music when she's doing gigs?
So what do you mean? What do you mean by that? How do I cope with my music?
Well, when you kind of like doing your gigs, when you go out singing, does your panic attacks come on?
So I've been in the middle of songs actually, and I've because sometimes I think about things that might be happening, and at the moment my dad's very sick, and it's actually been happening to me the last month, and I have been singing and I have been having panic attacks, and it's that whole feeling of the overwhelming explosion feeling that my heart goes and everything like that, and I just talk to myself. I just deal with it. I might stop for a minute. Sometimes I actually stop singing for a second, and then I just go, oh, hey guys, and I just cover it. I've just learned how to do it. It takes a lot of practice, but I just tell myself it's only a panic attack, Sarah. It's only a panic attack. It's not going to hurt you. You'll be fine, and it seems to help me. So that's how I deal with it.
Wants to know. She's saying, "Hello, Sarah. I'm a singer. Does a certain song trigger your panic attacks?"
Well, there's certain songs that may, like sad songs, sometimes might trigger something, and I might start feeling anxious because of it, because I might have a memory or something. It doesn't always have to be a slow song. It could be a fast song as well. But no, there's nothing really. A panic attack will just come out of the blue with me. It's a build up. It's a build up of adrenaline. So your anxious thoughts can build up over days, and they can just suddenly hit you at any moment. So you don't realize that can happen. So it isn't actually the song that would be doing it. It's something that's already there in your subconscious thoughts that's been building, and then suddenly it just happens to happen, maybe when you're having fun or doing something that you think, why is that happening? But yeah, it's normally subconscious thoughts. It's been building, so an anxiety that you've had for a few weeks, and it just suddenly just bang hits you, and you think, why did that happen? I was fine. And you think you were fine, but you weren't. Does that make sense? It's just it's just that's the weirdest thing about panic, because you think, I was fine. I was watching a really good movie. Why did I suddenly have a panic attack? Why am I suddenly just so anxious? Is there something wrong with me? Am I having a heart attack? This is what I used to think. And I didn't understand the whole subconscious thing, the build up of it all, the anxiety, the adrenaline that was pumping through my body. Because if you can see, I'm quite a passionate person. I've always been hyper. This is the reason why I'm probably an anxious person, but I control it, and I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. To sit here and tell you, that's the hardest thing I've ever had to say to anyone. I've had to stop myself from getting very emotional. And I'm not going to lie to you, at the moment, my throat is closing up a little bit because I'm anxious, but I know what it is. I know it's anxiety. And I'm not going to let it just control me. I'm not going to let it ever not send me outside and do the things that I love, because there's a beautiful world out there, and we just need to live for now. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Thank you, Sarah. That was beautiful. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you are kind of like listening on radio, well, one that a treat, someone come along and tell you what they've been going through. We always hear stories like that, and I think that was really, really good. I'm getting people kind of like contacting me saying, would it be possible she comes back again? I will definitely ask.
Definitely.
Come back again.
I'd let you know what. The main thing about me is that I just want to help people. I don't want to see anyone suffering like I did, because it was living hell. It was living hell. Yeah. It was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever been through.
you're certainly helping people. And one of your friends, Danielle, is on. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
I'll let
Love you, Danielle.
There you go. You got a messages there. Look
Oh, I can't
on the
see it.
screen.
I need my
Can you see your
glasses.
messages?
I can see it, but 1 minute. Let me just put my glasses on. 2 seconds. Oh, I don't like showing people my glasses. Oh, well done, Danielle. You're amazing. Don't you dare give up. You'll get there. 100% you'll get there. I'm proud of you for coming and listening. You get to see me with my glasses on. I don't let anyone see me with my glasses on.
Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, guys, so you're missing the trick, but never mind. There you go. If you want to watch Sarah, please go onto my YouTube, Crossroads uh, podcast.uk, and don't forget you can see her there, and also go onto her Facebook, and especially when she goes on singing live, brilliant, really good singer, guys. And if you're looking
Oh,
for a
thank you.
booking, and if you need somebody to do your Christmas party, whatever, birthday, whatever, you know where to go because Sarah is the person to go to. Anyway, guys, I've got to go because I've got some more to do. Thank you very much for everybody tuned in. Thank you to
Bye,
so
everyone.
many people, and Sarah's done a wonderful job. Bye for now.
Bye.